for the energies of my viewer. One or two more, please. Temple. I kind of use that to see where I'm at really quick. Temple. The desert. Thanatos. The temple often refers to the body. The desert often represents isolation, separation. And Thanatos is death, endings leading to renewal or rebirth. Bottom of the deck was the womb. So some rebirthing energies, some focus on the body, separation leading to rebirth. Let's see what the energetic current from the Astros are. Influence, tension, and opposites. Opposition. What is the ground these currents flow upon? One card, please. Biome connection. And so right away, I see an individual who has been in isolation and separation in the desert, purifying the temple, which is working on conscious development, growth, personal development, working on your business, whatever it is that you needed to work on and were focused on internally to heal and mend from your past. And you are now at a point where this is creating the strain you are desiring connection. This is kind of the fires for me of the past energies being burned and things crumbling down. But desiring that connection and wondering where it is amid all of the things that have happened around you. What are these currents I'm carrying my viewer towards? What's this guiding them towards? Okay. First one out, tidy house, clarity and organization. So that was the temple. Oh goodness, way behind me on the floor. So that is the work with the temple, where you have probably really been doing a lot of inner house cleaning, getting rid of old beliefs that were not working, reframing new ones, developing new habits and behaviors, right? In this period of isolation, overcoming your obstacles and challenges in this energy. And now you're at a point of this lack of connection because of these isolation and separation energies, feeling like the bottom of the deck was the womb. So there's this feeling, this anticipation of rebirth. I think you're aware of the endings. Like, you can feel this. You know that you're in this tension. You know that you have this drive towards connection, but you have burnt things down and had to reassemble. Like this house, this castle over here is being built. And so there's a lot of reformation that you have been doing within your life. And so there's a great deal of surrender, and that can create that fear of uncertainty, knowing what is next. So what does Spirit want the viewer to know in this moment of tension and obstacles and surrender? Then they have to carry them forward through this so that they do not get lost along the way. What is the call to action that will propel them forward out of these energies? First card out was "It's your time." You've done the work to overcome these obstacles. You've received the clarity that you needed to protect your temple and your vessel. Like, you have turned your body and your home and your environment and your space, your presence, into something that is sacred. It is more than a vessel. It is more than, it is sacred. It is a presence. You've gone through your life and had all of this destruction of the bonds that were no longer serving you, those that were pulling you down and weighing you down. But this is the obstacle that you are still holding, and this is what they're asking you to surrender. Like, it is your time to rise, but not if you can't overcome those resentments. And you've had to do a lot of work to get here. And there can quite often in that be a great deal of resistance to wanting to unburden that part of the ego that feels entitled for the effort that was put into redoing this. Like, you've worked hard to be where you are. Letting go of what you've had to let go of, walking away from what you've had to walk away from, was very, very difficult. But we can sit in that isolation and that separation as our own kind of martyr and stew on that resentment within ourselves. And we weaponize that against ourselves. So it is time to clean house, make sacred your rituals and your routines that serve your values and your principles towards your goals, right? Heart and mind coherence and aligned will with value and principle. But this is what they're asking you to surrender, or it's going to keep burning your world down, anything that you build. Okay, if you can't put down this resentment, the foundation of everything that you built on is going to have weaknesses within it. So it is your time to rise, and that is what you are being asked to look at. And take that inventory and get clarity on what it is that you might still need to release and turn over. You can't keep moving. You can't move forward as long as you are still focused on what is behind you. Right? And I think a lot of people are looking at the smoke and the fire and the debris of what has fallen down and crumbled to get where they are. And just like Lot's wife, when they were leaving Sodom and Gomorrah, they've turned around. They looked back and stared, right? Like, we get stuck. The message in that is that we get stuck in the past viewing, right? Our lens becomes framed entirely on the past. And that worry about what we lost, and that resentment towards what was lost, what may often feel like was taken, resentment at what we had to cut off in order to get where we are. You know, not everybody went into isolation in their spiritual awakening by choice. Most of the time it was like willing choice. Most of the time it was an absolute necessity for their survival. They weren't relationships that they wanted to necessarily get rid of. And that can leave its own kind of resentment. So look at the ways you might be hating yourself for the choices that you have had to make. Look at the ways you might be expressing that towards other, and let it go. If you turn it over and say, I don't know what to do with this, you'll find the intuition and the clarity you need in your practices. It is your time. That's what's in your way. And you know what that issue is already. It's time to deal with it. You can't bullshit yourself anymore. All of these other cards, the fact that Tidy House is here, the biome is here, the desert is here, like you've been sitting in this energy for a while. You've been hanging out with Thanatos for a while, and it's time to, this wants to rise. You have to let go of this. It's time. But you have to let go of this. Can't carry it with you anymore. It cannot go with you. And that's what I've got.